Bellingwood Vignettes by Diane Greenwood Muir. Book 15, Vignette number 5, Clueless. "What do you think?" Rachel did a quick spin and stopped to face Doug and Billy. When they didn't respond to her, she spun again, the long skirt of her black dress billowing out. Since that didn't raise a response, she snapped, "Hey!" "It's cool," Doug replied, barely taking his eyes off the screen in front of him to glance at her. "Go left!" he yelled. "No, the other left! Don't you see the hordes coming? Take another left!" I got it, Billy said. "Just let me get my greatsword out. We'll take them." He looked up for a second and nodded at his fiancée before pressing buttons on the game controller. Rachel took 2 steps and planted herself directly in front of the large flat screen. "Look. I have 10 minutes before I have to be downstairs in the kitchen. You can turn off your damned game for 10 minutes and talk to me." She glared at Doug. "Yeah, you too. You live in this house. You can be polite." Doug leaned to the side to see around her. He didn't want to get involved in this at all. Billy slumped in his seat. "Sorry," he said, chagrined. "Turn it off, Doug." He put the controller on the table beside him. "She's right. We're being rude." "Great. Are you guys going to have a fight about a dress now?" Doug asked. "I don't mind the fights as much as I hate the making up." He covered his ears with his hands. "I hate the making up. You two are not quiet about that. It's just wrong." Rachel started to amp up, but Billy lifted his hand and gave Doug a sly grin. "You're just jealous." "Not likely," Doug retorted. "I could have a girlfriend if I wanted one. I'm just not ready to give all this up." He stroked the leather of his recliner and smiled. "I'm living the good life here. You're the one who's jealous that I get to keep this when you attach the ball and chain. I don't ever have to give this up if I don't want to." "Billy's not giving anything up," Rachel said with a snarl. "And anyway, do you want to end up like old Doug Leon, all alone and collecting everybody's stuff so you feel like you're part of the community?" "Whatever." Doug pursed his lips. It wasn't worth it. She spun again, gesturing to the dress. "So do you like it?" Rachel touched the black, lacy sleeves that fit snugly to her arms, then lifted the lace overlay of the skirt. "Yeah," Billy said. "It's fine. What's it for? Are we going out somewhere? Aren't you going to be hot in that thing?" She glared at him before stalking back into their bedroom. The door slammed and both boys heard her muttering in fury on the other side. Billy followed her with his eyes, a look of confusion on his face. "What did I say?" "I don't know," Doug said with a shrug. "It's not like I'm the girl whisperer or anything. You told her it was a nice dress. What more does she want? Women are hard to figure out." He waggled his controller at the screen. "Ready to go again?" "You're kidding me, right?" Billy asked. "The last thing I need to do is piss her off even more." He leaned toward Doug and whispered, "She goes to work in 5 minutes. We can wait until she's gone." Doug waited a moment to see what his friend was going to do next and finally said, "Well, are you going to figure out what that was about?" "I probably should, but I don't want to. It's always painful." Billy sighed. "Am I always going to be this clueless?" "From what I've seen, you don't have much hope," Doug replied with a laugh. "You are kind of an idiot. It's a good thing she loves you." Billy was just getting out of his recliner when Rachel came back out of the bedroom, this time dressed in her Sycamore House uniform, a white blouse and black pants with a royal blue belt. "You look nice in that, too," he said. "You always look nice in everything you wear." Rachel walked past him without acknowledging his words and headed for the door. She stopped to give the 2 dogs a quick pat on the head. "What did I say now?" Billy asked. "I don't know how to fix this. I told you I liked the dress." "Thanks for nothing," she retorted. "So glad you deigned to get involved in the planning." "Planning?" Now Billy was really confused. "For what?" "The wedding, you moron," Doug said quietly, finally getting it. "You are so clueless." Billy looked back and forth between the 2 of them. "Wedding? But that's not until October." "I'm planning for it now." Rachel rolled her eyes. "I've been planning for months. Did you think we'd wait until the week before?" He frowned. But we decided to get married in October so we could use the Sycamore House decorations. And you've got the food handled. What else is there? The dress. Doug leaned his recliner back and tucked his hands behind his head. Wedding dress? Billy flipped his head to look at Rachel. That was your wedding dress? How was I supposed to know? It isn't white and frilly. And anyway, aren't you supposed to hide that from me until I see you at the ceremony? Rachel scowled and put her hands on her hips. In what universe do you ever think you'll see me in a white dress? It's our wedding. I just thought... Billy's thoughts drifted away. Sorry. Yeah, we're getting married on Halloween weekend. White wouldn't even fit the decorations or theme. Rachel pointed at her black fingernails and then tugged at a lock of bright blue hair lying on her straight black hair. I don't do white. I'm sorry. I didn't know, Billy said. I just assumed. That was stupid of me. Have you ever seen me wear anything white? She asked. He shook his head. I didn't get a very good look at the dress. Will you show me later? I guess. And superstitions like you not seeing me in it before the wedding? How silly do you think I am? You aren't silly at all, he said. I just thought you'd want to... Be like everyone else? Rachel laughed out loud. I should probably quit assuming anything about you, shouldn't I? Billy asked. The wedding won't be like anything I've ever seen before, right? You know, she said, smiling at him, if you want to be part of the planning, all you have to do is ask. All you have to do is tell me what you want me to do. I'll do it. He turned to Doug. And so will he. Forgive me? Of course. Rachel put her hand out. Doug sighed loudly. Yeah, I know what that means. I'm going to be wearing headphones again tonight. Have I told you how much I hate it when you two fight and make up? Billy crossed the room and hugged Rachel. She tilted her head up for a kiss. Come here, Jack, Doug said. You shouldn't have to watch that.